Welcome everybody to the very first Cultcast. I'm Bandit, and today we are all joining each other. We are all hosts in this very podcast. We're gonna try to do these weekly. Don't hold us to that, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun time. We're gonna talk about a lot of different topics over the coming weeks and months. So yeah, just be sure to stay tuned. All right. Anybody want to introduce themselves first?
I'm Oofston Games, and I've been playing ARK since day one, and also making ARK content since day one. Mostly just uploading the cutscenes to YouTube, but whatever.
Hey, Ginger wants to go next.
Okay, fine. I'm a Ginger. I'm very small. I play ARK a lot, and that's I'm gonna be honest. That's literally it. I don't have anything else to say.
What a great personality. Anyway, I'm Soup Evolved. I'm occasionally an ARK artist. When I have the motivation, which is I don't know, maybe once every 2 months.
I'm Bandit. I make videos, and I play ARK as well. That's something that we all have in common. So that's it. That's it for me.
I'm actually a
Wonderful.
Pixar player, so
It'd be pretty funny if one of us just didn't play ARK at all. We just got roped into this podcast.
Wait,
Just-
what's ARK?
We're just
Where am
forced
I?
to be here.
Oh no, you've taken a Minecraft YouTuber, Super Evolved. God.
Yeah. So this podcast. I guess we'll start off. It'll be a little bit weird at first, but I guess we'll definitely grow into it over time.
oh yeah.
And evolve
Yeah.
and stuff. So yeah.
I like
it'll
what
be
you
a-
did there.
Yeah. It'll be a pretty cool thing to see, especially whenever we get to the later episodes and we look back on episode 1. We're like, dang, we were awkward.
Dang, how stupid is that?
Dang, look at this.
Cringe.
We were
Delete
talking
it
about
instantly.
You are newbies.
that, especially with all the speculation, because I know eventually we'll get into some speculation. So we'll just say, oh, yep, was wrong on that one. But
Oh, yeah.
I think what were we talking about today?
Survival Ascended.
Rival Ascended.
Descended.
Descended. Yes, the clickbait title that I threw in there, and
That got people upset.
yeah, it
A
got
lot of
people
people upset.
very upset, and we got a little bit of backlash, but that's all behind us. We're gonna talk about Survival Ascended today and just speculate and pick apart some of the features that they're adding in, and I guess we can go ahead and get right into it. So when is this thing supposed to be coming out? Is it like for sure August or?
As far as we know, August 31st is what it sounds like, because in the newest Community Crunch 356, they say that the official servers for Survival Evolved will be sunsetted on the 31st, right before Survival Ascended comes out. So I'm assuming those will be sunset in the morning, and then in the evening, Ascended will launch, unless it's been delayed and they haven't told us.
Yeah. Let's see.
I would be very surprised if they've figured out they need to delay it now, because it was only last week that they said it's coming out in August. So if in that week they're like, oh wait, no, we need more time.
I can see
Yeah.
getting delayed till September.
Yeah,
just
you know
think-
what? I agree. I 100% agree with you on that. But there's also I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a time when like they would have a scheduled update or they would have something releasing and then something would happen and they had to delay it by a few hours. I wonder if something like that will actually happen, and then the
That
servers are
happened.
already shut down, and then people are just
Oh,
in
yeah.
limbo, like not even able to
Oh.
play. That would be awful.
The thing
I
is
can
that
see
if
that
they shut
happening.
down the servers, they have to like have it concreted in. It's like, yes, we are going to release this tonight, like regardless of what state it's in, because you've already taken down the servers.
Yeah, and
I mean,
well,
that
that's
doesn't
true.
really matter to unofficial players, but yeah,
Oh, yeah.
official players, that will. They're not going to have their ARC for a few extra hours.
Oh no.
They're all gonna cry.
They don't know anything else. What are they gonna do?
Go outside.
Socialize?
touch
Go and touch grass.
Go outside and try to
Yeah.
tame the local ducks with their one-time taming speed.
Yeah.
See, I don't see how they make up the minority. Like that was actually kind of shocking to me that they made up the minority of the player base.
They're
Official
just a
players.
loud minority, a very loud minority.
They are
Yes.
a very loud community, but then well you've got to consider even though they're a minority, there is a lot of people playing Ark.
Oh
So
yeah.
even though they're a minority, it's still quite a large crowd.
Oh yeah.
Um, but like even still, it's massively outweighed by unofficial and single player um communities. Like
Unofficial's just like the way to go anyway.
Are are the official servers for last gen consoles shutting down? Did they say that or
I'm
Um.
Sounds like
unsure.
it. There's no mention of them keeping them
because
up.
they're not getting Survival Ascended? So are they just not going to be able to play official anymore?
Well, they
They
want they
have to
just might.
upgrade.
But that they might just be taking down the entire network. That will include. The thing is, that's kind of bummer because Switch recently got remastered. They're not going to be able to play on servers.
Well,
Oh,
no.
seriously?
I'm gonna stop. No, I'm gonna stop you there because here's the thing. They're still getting offense because they're not actually ran by Wildcard, are they?
Yeah,
So
Grove Street is doing the Switch.
if they're still getting offense, why are they going to shut down the servers? Especially because it's not really Wildcard's responsibility to keep those up or even maintain the Switch port. They just hired a studio to go remake the port after a few years.
Oh yeah,
And they're
which
like,
is
okay, continue with the offense, continue with all of that stuff, like do the update, release the DLC. I don't imagine the Switch is going to get any survival ascended content, but
No,
I wouldn't
I don't see it.
imagine that their servers are going to get shut down either.
I mean, they won't be at least until all the DLC come out because today Extinction came out on the Switch.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Congratulations, Switch
Oh
players!
yeah, it did.
You get like my third favorite DLC. Hope you guys have fun with it.
And
Unless it got delayed, I don't actually know if it's out yet. I know it's
nah, they
supposed to come out.
tweeted
I mean,
about
yeah,
it.
they
It's
tweeted
out.
it.
Okay, all right.
but also the Switch is getting content until like up to 2024 with a remaining community map. So yeah, they're definitely not shutting that down. And the revamp of Arc Mobile, which that was actually a very big surprise to see
Yeah,
that
I
they
didn't
did that.
expect
Yeah,
that one.
I don't know how many people play Arc Mobile though, if it was even worth doing it. But it's good that they are doing it because I know that there are people that mainly do play that version, and it
Well,
did get neglected a bit.
I'm see Arc Mobile as it is right now is a completely different game from Survival Evolved. It's only the island and it's very weird and there's like Amber which is like paid currency that you can use to resurrect your dinos and it sounds like it's just going to be turned into the Switch version of the game, which
Yeah,
actually might make me want to play it because that means it's just normal Arc and
I
I'm
might.
down for more normal
The
Arc.
the controls on the mobile version, I vaguely remember when I tried it out, they were quite gimmicky. Like there wasn't like a touch joystick to really kind of use. It
I
was
mean,
sort of
it's
like
a mobile game, so
Yeah,
yeah, but if you ever look at games like I don't know, like Minecraft or something, they've got like a touch controls, like an actual like buttons on the screen. It's been years, but I
I don't
don't
think
think
they
Arc
did
Mobile had
originally.
that. Did they? I swear to God, they did.
If not, there was like an option to disable that.
I do
Just hold the screen,
remember.
you walk forward.
I remember the first time that I played it, Arc Mobile. I was trying to knock out a dodo to tame it, and then it started attacking me. So I just kind of I deleted. I just
that
uninstalled immediately.
that is pretty scary.
But
They should do that in a normal game.
They
so
used to.
We'll have to
how
bring it back.
uh how are we feeling about the like? What are the personal opinions on the move from the I guess the price difference now that Arc 2 is not bundled with ASA, but now it's $59.99 and it includes the DLC. I mean, do you like it or
I
unbothered?
mean, I was unbothered by the first one. I mean, I could obviously tell that it was a little scummy to make you buy the DLC again, but it didn't really bother me that much. But I'm very happy with what we have now. I just wish that there was another separate option to let you buy ARK 2 anyway, because I'm probably gonna like ARK 2, and I'd just like to purchase it now to get it over with instead of having to wait. But whatever Wildcard wants to do, I guess I'll just have to see.
My take on it is that I think it is a better deal than what we got before. Like a lot of people are saying ARK 2, oh, it's going to be $30 to $60. No, it's an early access title.
It's 20. It's gonna be 20.
It will be 20 at most, like 25 pushing it, really.
Yeah, because ARK was 20 when it first launched.
Exactly. So I think it is a better deal than we got before, but I don't know. I think I would have rathered it stay the same, but I'm happy I don't have to buy the DLC again now. And ultimately, it'll probably be like 10, 20 dollars cheaper than what it would have been.
I find it absolutely hilarious how many people saw the Respawn bundle and immediately assumed that ARK 2 was $10, because that's not how bundles work. Bundles make things cheaper so to incentivize buying the bundle instead of buying things separately.
Yeah.
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 So ARK 2 is probably going to be around $20 because that's just how bundles have always worked, unless I guess Wildcard is they're a little crazy sometimes. So, who knows? But,
See, I think they should have even like if they were gonna run with the respawn bundle, which again, like all of you have said, like no problem with it, like not really bothered by it, but I think it would have been a really good idea if they sold it like that. But also for the people who planned on getting all the DLC to also do like a deluxe version of that for maybe like $80 to save you like $10. So instead of spending 90, you spend 80. I think that would have been at least a good idea if they would have kept running with that. But
yeah.
$59.99 for the new bundle with all of the DLC. All we have to, I guess, shovel out money for now is that new DLC, which they haven't even gone into detail with it. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the pricing, but I would like to pre-order ARK 2 just to rip the Band-Aid off and know that I have it and feel secure.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's basically my opinion too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care either way. I was happy with it before. I'm happy with it now. Like, I'm looking forward to ASA. I'm going to get ASA. I'm looking forward to ARK 2, and I'll get ARK 2. It doesn't affect me.
One one idea that I had is, so if they're a little bit nervous that people won't like ARK 2 because of like the shift in direction, with the Souls-like combat, the more grounded approach to it, not as much,
only.
not as much tech or whatever, no guns, I guess. I wonder why, if they wanted that to be the actual definitive experience, they're doing all of these improvements. I wonder if they would bring the ARK 2 creature designs into ASA at some point. Like, I know not doing it at launch because that would like spoil a lot of stuff for ARK 2, but maybe at some point I wonder if they would do that.
I doubt that would happen.
doubt it, mainly because not that you want it to be distinguishable, but it's almost like there's a certain style they want their creatures to be in ARK 2, as in like more armored and
Spiky.
like rough, spiky. Yeah, there's lots of spikes on them,
Oh yeah.
which is a really interesting design. Like, some people are complaining about it. I think it looks cool. I mean, even if I didn't think it looked cool, I'm not going to get worked up over a creature design for a game that isn't even out.
Yeah. Especially since we haven't seen. Well, we've seen probably I want to say 4 to 5 of them in 3D. Most of them have only been concept art so far, because we've seen the Rex, we have seen the Oratians, we've seen the Raptor, the Dodo, and I think we saw a Microraptor in the first trailer.
Archraptor or Archaeopteryx or whatever.
But then again, it was straight up the ARK 1 model of it. So they might have just put that in there, and it might not actually even be coming to the game. We don't know.
If it's the ARK 1 model, that's either a placeholder or it's not coming to the game.
Yeah,
They won't put like an ARK 1 model, at
we've
least
seen
for a creature in ARK 2.
Pteranodons in game too. Pteranodons.
Oh yeah, no, those are looking
Yeah.
crazy.
And not to mention that little green creature at the very beginning.
Oh yeah, the
the leaf
chameleon.
lizard.
Like
That thing looks cool.
at first, because the first time that I saw the trailer at the Game Awards, I was like, this isn't ARK. Like, why do they have Vin Diesel in it? It didn't really get me until I had to see the specimen implant. But like whenever
Same.
I kept rewatching it, at first I kind of thought that first creature was like maybe like a little bit more fantasy and stuff. But I wonder if they'll ever even kind of push that boundary, since now they're outright saying it's going to be more of a, I guess, as realistic as you can get it with this universe and dinosaurs and stuff. I wonder if they'll even have like fantasy creatures in it.
Here's
I
what
think we're. Oh, you go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I think when they say realistic, they mean as in how creature behavior works, how they move, how the environment moves and looks, which also includes your character. I mean, there's a wreckage of a massive spaceship. Like, Element is still out there. So I think when they say realistic, they don't mean creature designs or the creatures themselves, but how they will behave and interact, and how the game will behave and interact. It will be like more grounded, but I think they'll still go crazy with Element, like how Element mutates and corrupts stuff around it, and
Yeah,
all that kind of
because
stuff.
we've already established that Element does play a role in Arc 2. Back in where was it? I don't remember what stream it was. Maybe Extra Life? I'm not really sure. Jesse or Jeremy was talking about how Element in Arc 2 is like a lot more scary than it is in Arc 1, and a lot more, oh, you're supposed to be scared of it. And that really piqued my interest, because while you can't use it in game, it's still going to be taking a very important role in the story. So that's good to see that the story isn't going to completely ditch Element, and the Element will probably continue to be the main villain of the franchise.
That would be very cool to see, but not being able to use it, that's going to be interesting, since it'll like be there, but you just can't mess with it, really. I guess you could say, like, doing all this crazy stuff with it and all that.
Mhm.
Crap, I forgot what I was going to say. My mind went completely blank. Um
Happens to all of us, man.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd like to go back to a previous point, and I think you brought this up, Bandit, about the Arc 2 creature designs appearing in Survival Ascended.
yeah.
I don't think, as Soup said, I don't think that we'll see it officially, but I'm assuming within probably the first month of Arc 2 releasing, those designs will be appearing as mods within Arc 1.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's going to
Oh,
be
they're
awesome.
definitely
100%.
That would be amazing to see, especially with freaking console modding. Like even the
Oh,
console
yeah.
players can get it now, which I mean, just even across ASA and ARC 2, I'm glad that we're going to see that. And now I
Mhm.
can play with my friends on console, because I mean, just for a casual player, or somebody who just kind of casually plays video games, like, get a console. It's easy to pick up. You sit down on your couch, you play, but which is what a majority of my actual, like, in real life friends do. So now I can finally play with
Yeah.
them, which is going to be
Yeah.
awesome.
I know for me, I do a lot of trips for work, and I don't like lugging my computer around, but I do have a PlayStation 5. And if Survival Ascended actually works on PS5, unlike Survival Evolved, wink wink, then I'm definitely going to be picking it up on PS5, because your saves will transfer over. so I can continue playing while I'm on the go, and I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, that's gonna be really, really cool.
I
That
think
was
the only people who won't be looking forward to a cross-platform multiplayer will be the server providers, because now, like, people on console can just go join, like, servers and server clusters being held on different platforms. Like,
Yeah.
you won't really have to get your own, so maybe they won't be making as much, but, like,
And you
I'm
have
sure it'll be a lot still.
you have communities like the architects who have Xbox servers and PC servers, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure what their plans are for ASA, but they would only have to have one set of servers instead of having two now, so that would
Well,
probably be less money in the pockets of
I
Nitrado
mean,
and G-Portal.
they could add a thing. So, like, you buy a server for your platform, but if you want to allow people onto your server from a different platform, you could maybe buy like an extension for like £5 or something like
A
that.
crossplay extension.
You know,
oh
like a little
no,
key or something.
I would not like that.
no,
yeah,
don't.
that would
Neither,
No.
that
let's
would
say
be a bit
like
No.
scummy.
neither would I, but I can see that happening if they want to make more money.
The thing is, G Portal already allows cross-platform with their servers because Epic Games and the Steam servers, they are cross-platform. The
Yeah.
only problem is if you activate crossplay, you can't put mods on your server because for some reason Epic Games still has no mod support whatsoever.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's a bit.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
because it doesn't have anything like the Steam Workshop. But come on, Epic, it's 2023.
And they
You
also
need more stuff.
they host the service that people use to make mods, which is really funny.
Yeah, no, that's that's kind of funny to me.
yeah, they do with the under that yeah, that is kind of weird to think about that they haven't made a workshop or just anything yet. Like I don't know. That's a little bit off-putting, but I mean, I don't use the Epic Games launcher unless I absolutely have to. Like
Yeah.
I recently picked up Rocket League and I was like, "Oh, I have to download the freaking Epic Games launcher." Like I just
hmm
I don't really like
I still have
Yeah,
that game on Steam, so I'm lucky
yeah.
on that front.
The
yeah.
Epic launcher is just compared to Steam, it doesn't even come close. Uh,
Yeah.
I think because on my I had another PC and on like older hardware, the Epic Games launcher is so slow. Like it really just stops working.
That is actually one thing that worried me with Arc 2. Because they're using Epic Games as Unreal Engine 5, and I was convinced that Epic was gonna try to make a deal with Wildcard to put Arc 2 as an Epic exclusive.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna be
Oh,
honest, I as much as I love Arc and as much as I love Wildcard, I don't know if I would have gotten it if it was an Epic exclusive. I think that might have been like a deal breaker for me. I would have instead have rather went out and bought a Series X than play it on Epic Games.
I'm actually with you on that one. I
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. Even a timed exclusive, I'll just wait. I'll wait on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
like if we're like every game, if there's an option to play it on Steam or Epic Games, always gonna choose Steam. It's just the better launcher. If it went on Epic Games for a timed exclusive, I'd wait or buy it on like PS5 or something like
well,
that.
in the
Be waiting
meantime,
longer.
we got ASA. So,
Yeah, we got ASA.
Yep.
chilling.
Yeah.
And
Um
here's a question about ASA.
Mhm.
Uh, the better dino pathfinding. Now, do you
Yeah.
think
Oh
this
yeah.
will include dinosaur behavior? Because if there's anything that annoys me in Ark, it's watching a T-Rex eat like 8 Brontos and a few generations of parasaurs, and then it instantly running after you. Like, first of all, you should eat 1 or 2 parasaurs, and then you should be full, and you shouldn't have to eat for like another 2 days.
I think
And another thing is, like, typically creatures will hunt at certain times of the day. So maybe it should only be hunting in the evening, and if it catches something, then it's not going to attack anything. Well, it's not going to hunt anything for like another 2 days or something like that. I mean, if something attacks it, then yeah, absolutely, it will like fight back.
I don't.
Or will it? Or will this pathfinding? Because they just said better AI pathfinding. They didn't say like better AI behavior or IQ. Does
I
it mean
think
like if you're just sitting on a rock, it's going to find a way up the rock rather than just sitting there and letting you shoot it?
I don't think it will go as deep as it will only hunt on a certain time of day.
Yeah,
I would hope it would just go for if it eats a few parasaurs, it'll be full. It won't just start going on a rampage, because that is sort of annoying.
well, here's the thing that's not going to happen because in ARK 2 we know like you'll have to cover your scent. Like it's actually going to have to see you to attack you. If you hide in bushes, it's going to be a bit more difficult to get spotted by a creature.
Yeah.
Like ASA will not have that.
Oh yeah, I sometimes exactly to have some stuff like that, they need to kind of change like the gameplay, and that's something that Arc 2 will do well.
Yeah, I mean,
All
I
that.
just think as long as it isn't kill on sight like it's been for the past 8 years, that'll be good. I mean, they might not do that. I'll take better pathfinding anyway, but
Oh,
if,
and
if you're doing better pathfinding, just add like a wild dino hunger bar. Maybe don't let them starve to death, but it just depends on how aggressive they'll act, depending on how full they are.
do you think they'll also maybe remove the sort of thing where when you kill a dinosaur, it won't just ragdoll, it might have like a death animation?
That would be good
not
to see.
not every dino has a ragdoll. Compies have an actual death animation.
Yeah.
And I
Do
know
you,
a few other Reaper. I think Reapers have one too, and the King Titan does. That's all the bosses do actually.
all the like the bosses do, but for like a T-Rex, like if you kill a T-Rex, it's just not gonna ragdoll on you. Like I
See,
don't expect some sort of cinematic experience. I just want it just to.
I would say that that would be good, but that's adding a lot of animations to over like 200 creatures.
Yeah.
And I I,
Mhm.
I I think that we can see that in Arc 2, but I don't think we should get our hopes up for that for Survival Ascended because all in all, Survival Ascended is just Arc 1 but slightly better.
A lot better.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, it'll be a good improvement.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
yeah, it
Um.
has a
that's
chibi
that's a
slot,
good point.
so
Oh yeah,
Oh
the
yeah.
chibi stunts. But yeah, no, that's a good point. Like you brought up the thing about yeah, there's 200 dinos. Yeah, it would be nice to see maybe like even if they did it on some of them, like a T-Rex or a Giga or something, just like some of the
the
like
big
some of
ones.
those, like the big ones.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Well, since
So
they
here,
Oh,
had it.
here,
Oh, go ahead.
well, I was going to change the subject, but if you have
I was
something more to
too.
add,
Oh,
damn it.
there was just one point I wanted to add, or one, I guess, type of speculation to that. I mean, maybe with the compy, because I mean that's just a random creature to have a death animation for. I mean, it could
Yeah.
have maybe been like internally like just a planned feature to have his death animations, but maybe they just kind of got caught up with other things and just kind of had to abandon that idea and just add a ragdoll. But I mean, it is a little bit strange that they had the compy death animation and then maybe just a couple others picked out. Um, but it definitely would be cool to see it in ASA. But like you guys said, probably not gonna happen just because it's gonna be like, while it will be an overhauled version, it's not gonna be like a completely new game.
Um,
Yeah.
what's the word I'm looking for? It's what, a remaster, not a remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's remastered.
The
Well,
the Switch version is technically a remake because I believe they
yeah.
remade it from the ground up, but they are porting everything to UE5 for this one and making it better. They're not remaking it from the ground up like they did with the Switch.
That would be too long if they had to remake.
We would not
two
be getting it
versions.
in August if that
We-
was the case.
I doubt we'd even be getting it this year if they remade it all.
Oh yeah, there's no way.
Because like if they remade Survival Ascended as well, then it would bring up another concern: is how many like who's actually working on Arc 2 and that? Like, have they got an even amount of people doing it?
Well, that is something I do believe that with their recent, crunches, it's basically been confirmed. The wildcard dev team has been split in two. Half of them are working on Arc 2, and half of them are going to work on Survival Ascended, and they're going to, exist simultaneously. Because you
Yeah.
have some people who
Yeah.
really don't want the better combat in Arc 2 and the third person, and they just want to stick with what they know, which is fine. And now they have the opportunity to, because Arc 1's going to exist on UE5, and it can exist for years to come instead of just buy, because the plan was originally they were going to kill Arc 1 when Arc 2 came out. They said that servers were going to shut down when Arc 2 released. That was the original plan. So at least Arc 1 fans can they can continue playing the game. They just got to give Wildcard another $60.
And I suppose also if they want to go back to the original game as well, they can still have technically a next generation experience if they're coming from Arc 2. If they want to come back to Arc 1 and just mess around, they're still going to have a next generation experience. So then they're not really going to be going backwards.
Yeah.
Another type of, I guess, thing. I guess it kind of goes hand in hand with this, like how you said that the dev team is basically split in half. I'm reading 356 right now, and it says even like new features, including at launch content drop, creatures, items, structures, and DLC. So I wonder like if they're actually gonna be supporting this game a little bit further than just like the DLC maps that are going to be releasing. Like I wonder if they're going to add just brand new things.
Oh, I
Over time.
100% believe they will, because my idea is that the Arc universe is being split in two, and we're gonna have two different stories being told. One on Arat in Arc 2, and one on Earth in Arc 1. That's how I feel how we're gonna go with this. Because if they release more canon DLCs, that's more money for wildcards. So
That would be interesting.
I'm just interested whether when this new paid expansion gets revealed, if they're gonna be like, hey, here's the next season pass, or if they're just gonna make you buy the expansion itself, because the season pass would confirm we're at least getting another DLC along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then who knows how long it's gonna be till the next DLC for Survival Ascended.
Well, the thing is that if they release the season pass, but like maybe make it, maybe like I don't know, touch more expensive, something like that. Like, it doesn't really matter if they don't release another DLC, because if they do, people have technically already got it. Um, I think we will see a season pass.
I can't wait for another controversy about the season pass, because the first season pass said this will give you 3 DLCs, and somehow people took that as every DLC afterwards. And then when the Genesis season pass came out, people lost their shit, even
Oh
though
my god.
even though they literally said 3 DLCs. And then you have people going in being like, they changed the description. No, they didn't. I remember it back when Aberration was announced and the season pass was shown off. They specifically said Scorched Earth, Aberration, and Extinction, because they did reveal Extinction's name at that point.
Yeah.
And they didn't say anything else about any DLCs prior, so yeah.
Do you think that they'll continue supporting it? Like, because it's I guess it's a known fact that it'll release in early access. Arc 2 will. Do you think they'll keep supporting it up until Arc 2 officially launches, or maybe a little bit past that?
I think they're going to continue supporting ASA until they can't anymore, like they're doing with Arc Survival Evolved, because with ASA, whole new engine, which means not as much strain is being put on it anymore. Because Arc 1, they were, with the release of Genesis 2, they were really pushing it. The engine was like, it was falling apart. But now Unreal 5 should be able to handle a lot more. So I think we might be able to see Survival Ascended last for another 8 years. I genuinely believe it. Unless Wildcard, collapses as a company.
Oh
Which I
yeah,
also doubt. I doubt that's gonna happen.
I think they wouldn't be making Survival Ascended if they weren't going to support it for more than a year.
Yeah.
Well, they
But
said
that,
it'll be updated for years to come.
and again,
Which
it
could
goes
mean
back to
another
the other.
8 years.
It
Could
goes
be,
back.
yeah,
It
could
goes
be
back to
another
the other
3, could
point.
be another 8.
Yeah, it goes back to the other point where it's sort of like some people might not want the other combat, so they'll go to Survival Ascended. I think that's good, and I think that'll be sort of the thing to keep updated. And
Yeah.
I don't think they would be releasing this if they were just gonna say Arc 2 releases, like maybe like a year after Arc 2 releases, saying yeah, no, we're putting the plug now.
I mean,
Have fun.
well, we know they're not doing that because they said in the crunch will be updated alongside Arc 2 for years to come.
Which one was that from? 55 or 56?
I don't remember. I just remember it being said.
I have them both pulled up right now.
Oh.
Okay, this is the one with the original bundle.
But yeah, right here in the paragraph, even whenever they said Arc 2 has significant design changes like Souls-like combat, primitive only weaponry. They even go on to say they feel it's essential to provide players with a fully next-gen version of the original experience to ensure that fans can continue to enjoy the Arc as they know for years to come. So yeah, I guess they will be supporting both games alongside each other, which people can trash Wildcard all they want about so many different things, but at the end of the day, they are taking care of their fans by
Yeah.
supporting both of these games, even
Yeah.
whenever this old game is supposed to be like old news. Here's the sequel. This is better, but they're still going to be supporting it, which is awesome.
That's
It,
really good.
it's funny how the same people who are complaining about Arc 2's like drastic change in direction, those same people are the ones complaining about how, it's been delayed. Like they're delaying it so you can have Arc 1 on a better engine because
Yeah,
you're not going to like Arc 2.
yeah, that doesn't make any sense either. It's a bit stupid.
Need to pick and choose their battles, and
I just
Yeah.
kind of feel like that they're complaining for no reason. That they're complaining for the sake of complaining.
And it's fine to not like the direction Arc 2 is going. I completely understand why people are upset. I personally, I remember playing a Souls game like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and my first thought was I'd love a game like this in the Arc universe.
And you got it.
And then the Arc 2 like Souls combat thing came out, and I was beyond excited. And yeah, I know, but that's not a thing for everyone, and it's fine to not like it. But some of these people that are complaining are just they obviously just want to be upset about something.
They like it's almost like that they love to complain.
Yeah.
It's like their personality is like, oh, something new is coming out. Oh, let's rip it to shreds.
Well, we're talking about Twitter here, and look,
It's Twitter.
look, if you don't like third-person only Souls, combat style, yeah, you're probably not gonna love Arc 2, at least not initially. We haven't seen gameplay yet at all. Who knows? Whatever. And then you hear that, oh, okay, Survival Evolved, which has now been dubbed Survival Ascended, will be supported for years to come. And then, I have to buy it again? Okay, well, I guess I'll start complaining about that.
Yeah.
Which you have the right to do. I don't care if you don't like the direction Arc 2 is going, or if you don't like Survival Ascended. It doesn't affect me. I I kind of draw the line when you start harassing people who are excited for it, but I mean, you do you.
Or saying
Like-
that you're a terrible person for supporting it when
Oh yeah,
this is
no.
just normal. This is how video games have been remastered for. I have like 4 different copies of Skyrim and like 4 different copies of GTA, and do I regret buying them? No.
Yeah, it's just like The Last of Us came out on PS3, got remastered for PS4, then got remade for PS5.
Yeah,
These studios have to have some
money.
sort of income. Yeah, like some sort of money. Like they gotta have money, and which leads me. How do we? When's the ARK season or not season? When's the battle pass coming out? When
Oh,
can I reach
I'm
tier
I'm
100?
ready. I'm ready.
Oh, yo,
I
can't wait
think
to
the
get-
only I would like a battle pass for SOTF. My only issue is that it technically isn't free to play, and therefore it shouldn't be added. At least, well, actually, no, you can have a free battle pass, but there
Yeah.
shouldn't be like a paid battle pass, unless you make SOTF its own separate free to play application, which we know won't happen because it's going to be built in with ASA, and like it'll be on the home screen. It'll be on the main menu.
And remember, with the new SO, let me find it.
Oh yeah,
SOTF.
matchmaking.
They have matchmaking, and there we go. Character and creature customization with cosmetics. So either you earn those by like winning, or there's some sort of like level up system in SOTF, sort of like a battle pass, where maybe you reach level 25, you get the Carno bone costume, something similar
Yeah.
to that.
Hang on,
Again,
did we?
I'm down for a battle pass, but if the game isn't free, then the battle pass shouldn't be paid for.
Yeah.
Did they? Did you say matchmaking that they were
Yes,
gonna
Yes.
matchmaking.
Okay,
You're
thank
not
God
going to
for
have to
that.
find the same server as your friend. And there is a local lobby where you could group up with your friends, change the look of your Survivor and Dinos, and queue up for lobbies together. So that is
That's
really
really cool.
good.
That's
It's going to
While
be so good.
That's welcome.
while we are on the subject of characters, the new character creator for ASA.
Oh,
I have said this before, but I'll restate it, and that is, I don't think Survival evolved. Well, no, God, Survival evolved character creator was supposed to stay like that. I think that
yeah.
was supposed to be temporary, and they were going to rework it, and they just got complacent
Never
and
did
never
it.
did. Because
Yeah.
what was the point? I think maybe you'll have some variation in what people look like. It won't just be the same person with different height or an inflated face. Um,
Mhm.
like, n- um, you might also be able to pick like a hairstyle and facial features from the beginning, but then you still unlock them later on in the game, and
That'd be
there's
cool.
more customization in that front. I think we'll get tattoos in ARK too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not just talking about the ability to paint on yourself and then you die and you don't get it back. I mean, like, maybe you can put scars on your body and tattoos. Maybe
Maybe
not
kind of
initially
Cyberpunk.
in the character creator itself, but I think that will be a feature. Maybe we'll see that in ASA. I wouldn't put a bet on it, but
I think
I think you will be able to actually distinguish other people's survivors, other than
I
their armor and hairstyle.
I think with like the scars that you can put on yourself and the tattoos, I think you will be able to do that off the bat, but it might be like just maybe 3, and they're quite basic. And like you said, that they could unlock them. What would be cool is that if you could maybe make your own. That would be cool.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
there's like a certain canvas range you can just make your own scar. That would be really cool.
I don't see
Yeah.
it happening, but it would be cool.
Yeah.
It would be cool until somebody like, oh no, writes a slur on their character using scars or
Yeah.
tattoos, which will
Yeah.
inevitably happen.
See, that just means that that person is marked for death on the server, and everyone will go after them until they're not having fun anymore and they quit.
Actually, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd
That'd
suck it
be
would happen in the first place, but you get to
I'd like
torture
Yeah.
to
someone.
I'd like to change the subject a little bit, away from the character creator, because alongside official servers for what is it, Survival Evolved being sunset, there's also some features that ASA is sunsetting, and I want to touch on this just because one of my good friends, he's a bit concerned about one of these features being sunset, and I want to get your guys' opinions on it. So, with the launch of ASA, we will be ending official support for Primitive Plus, Split Screen, procedurally generated maps. Do any of us care about any of those?
Did anybody use the procedurally generated maps?
No.
Did
I've
once.
never even touched it.
I
Did
think split
once.
screen is a little unfortunate, but at the end of the day, it's whatever.
I
I've
mean, more
also
people play
never
games
heard of
online.
anyone. I've never heard anyone use split screen other than that one friend. So, and the outrage about Ascended, no one has been like, no split screen.
Yeah.
Primitive Plus, I can I can see why they've basically stopped.
Poor
It
Cedric.
was a cool concept. Don't get me wrong, but
Well, they're gonna be
honestly,
they're gonna release the source files for Prim Plus,
And
so
also
people
ARK
can
2 is
could have
remake
going to
remade it
be
a
a
mod.
thing.
Like
Yeah.
Primitive Plus. If they were going to release the source files for it, you already know that's going to be a mod eventually.
Well, in almost instantly. They just gotta retweak it a little bit so it works with ASA.
I'll try that out.
I've never tried out Prim Plus. I would have liked to, but I've never just really thought about it. Like, woke up and man, I really want to try Prim Plus. Um,
Yeah.
but the split screen thing, I only did it a handful of times, and it was whenever it was on early access on the Xbox One, and I wanted to play, and my brother wanted to play, and we were like, okay, well let's do the split screen. But after that, he got his own Xbox, never touched it again, and I've never
Yeah.
been in this
It's
situation
the
now.
same.
So I started playing ARK on split screen because I had a PS3, which obviously ARK isn't on. And my dad had a PS4, so like I sort of started playing ARK with him on split screen for like a few months, and then at some point the PS3 broke, so I got a PS4, and that's sort of when I stopped playing split screen. I don't think it's. I mean, it's a feature that very few people probably depend on.
Yeah.
I think it kind of sucks how it's going, but at the end of the day, it's not going to really subtract anything substantial from the game.
I think split screen is like a good way maybe if you had if a friend came around or something, and you wanted to like if he was thinking about buying Ark, and you just wanted to try a multiplayer together just to see if that person would buy it. Like
Yeah, but I
that's
wouldn't
what might be
rely
cool.
that on a split screen, especially how, like, what the max you'll get is like 30 FPS even on a next gen console, or I guess current gen console, because we're
And
like
then there's the
over
tether
2 years into
distance.
this now.
Was it 30 FPS when we tried it, Soup? Because I swear to, I
Oh
thought
no,
it
it
was
would have been
lower.
15 on a PS4.
Yeah, I thought it was lower
And
because it felt
PS5
smoother when I
for that
got it on
matter
mine.
too. And
Yeah,
going back to Prim Plus and wanting to try it, we could like probably make a video on that. I think that'd be fun.
Oh
That'd be a lot
yeah.
of fun.
Messing
because
around in that for like an hour or two.
Prim Plus, I swear to God, like one of the only things that kind of stood out for me was sort of like there's a lot of decorative items in this now,
Oh yeah.
and like I'm like sort of disappointed they didn't make it to the original game because some of those are like really cool. But
I just find it funny how, and I love Cedric. This whole thing is about him. They hired Cedric because of Primitive Plus, and then he became a community manager, and then they kind of dropped S Plus. This is a little weird.
they
That was
baited him.
pretty. Yeah, that was yeah. It was pretty funny how that worked out.
I think they should have implemented a few of the things he brought in to Primitive Plus, but other than that, yeah, I do understand getting rid of it. But there's more crops in Primitive Plus. Add some of those in, and like Ginger said, the decorative items. Ark has no decorative items pretty much, other than I don't know the drums,
A chair.
the chair, the table.
So
Actually, the
I
table's very functional.
okay no
And the table's good.
You've got the
bench.
boss, but what I've learnt recently, and I think this is a feature because I saw a screenshot from Xbox, which means it can't be a modded thing, and that is you can put like a Dodo Wyvern and Dodo Rex head on a wall mount, I think, by using the like cosmetic you get that you can put on a helmet.
That's base game. That's not primitive plus. That's just base game.
Oh, no, yeah, no, sorry, that's what I meant. I mean, this is a base game feature, and that's like one of the only decorative things you have in
Oh,
base.
okay. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Can't
Yeah.
forget the toilet.
Oh,
Oh, the
yeah,
toilet.
well, that's functional. That's got a use. You
Yeah.
get fertilizer out of that.
Oh
I've,
yeah.
I mean,
true.
I mean, I've never
Better
used
than
the
dung
toilet.
beetles.
No, I won't say that.
Never used the toilet for anything functional, but you know, it's there.
One thing I did kind of want to touch on, with kind of circling back to the earlier conversations with the character customization and like the matchmaking and queuing and SOTF and just all of that stuff. Do you think there will possibly be like a UI overhaul to make everything kind of look a little bit cleaner, even just whenever
Yes.
you're in-game
Yeah, no.
inventory? Like, do you think it'll look different at all?
Oh,
Yeah,
I think
completely
it'll
different,
keep the
'cause-
same aesthetic and probably a very similar layout, but it will definitely be easier to manage and navigate.
quicker. It needs to be
Yeah.
quicker.
and the only reason I say that it's going to look different because, as Soup said, same aesthetic, but we're getting a mini map. So instead of pulling out your map book that you can't read when you have like fur or ghillie on because it clips through the map, we're gonna have the
yeah.
mini map in the corner. We're gonna have pings,
Oh yeah.
and we're gonna have the chibi slot and the skins tab, which means they're gonna have to reorganize that a little bit to have that fit in.
Consoles are also going to have a cursor, so that's going to be a lot easier to navigate.
Oh,
Oh,
that's another reason why I want to buy it on PlayStation, just because that cursor. I hated playing it on console without that thing. That
It
thing's
was
gonna
so
save
annoying.
like so much time.
Oh yeah, it was almost a chore to kind of go into a storage box
Play
and
the game.
navigate from. So yeah, play the game, and also just like going into a storage box and navigating to the storage box using the analog stick, just by going across like every inventory slot one at a time. That's
Yeah.
gonna be so good.
Going back to the map, because I think it would be unfortunate if you get rid of like the little map book entirely that you pull out.
Yeah.
I think a workaround they'll do is that it'll just sort of like they'll fix the problem of your gauntlet armor meshing through the map. But also what they'll do is if you're in first person mode, you'll pull the book out. But if you're in third person, it'll activate the mini map in the corner.
I can see that.
That would be really cool.
That would be awesome.
I think with the map though, they should probably fix some things like you said, like the clipping, and also if you're flying, if the sun's behind you, you just can't see the map. You'd almost have to like turn around just to be able to see it. I've had that a few
And
times when flying somewhere.
there's also the fact that the in-game map itself is super outdated.
Oh, yeah.
When you're like looking at spawn locations or explorer note locations on the updated map in the wiki, it is some of these like placements of like the little offshoots from the shore are completely different from what they are in game, and you can't even rely on where it says like on the map. You just have to go to the coordinates
Okay,
because
no.
maps look different.
And just like a
Here's the
little like
thing. The shape of the map you pull out and the shape of the actual in-game map is different because it's a square.
Oh,
So
you're right.
they've elongated it to fit the book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep, that's probably most of the issue, honestly.
I think it is, yeah.
just like a little bit of a nothing to really kind of do with like, the whole functionality thing. If you pull out the map in first person, say if you're on Genesis, it's the Genesis map. If you go into third person, it's the island.
Well, that's just like
Oh,
a little
yeah.
texture thing.
It's quite funny.
There's another thing coming with ASA that is mentioned pretty close to the minimap and the queue. Not the queuing. That's what I want to bring up. This isn't for SOTF. It just says queuing system, And I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what they mean by that
Maybe if
because
the
it's not
server-
under the SOTF.
Isn't
If-
that what matchmaking is? Queuing.
No,
Well,
it's
but
not under
it's not
SOTF.
for. So what does that mean?
I think it's like if a server is at max capacity, just like I don't know if you guys play the game Rust or anything kind of along that line. In Rust, what they have is like if a server is full, you have to wait in line essentially, and whenever somebody logs out, you're in. So maybe
Like a
something like
local-
that.
yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah,
I like that idea. I like
that's
that.
definitely it. I can't see it
Oh,
being
yeah.
anything else.
So basically,
Yeah.
you don't have to click on like just keep on clicking refresh and then typing in your
Yeah,
password, and then there's a
it would just
chance
put
that you
you on
can't
like
get in.
a waiting list, and then I mean, like what Bandager said, when someone leaves and a space opens up, and if you're
Correct.
next in line to join, then you get put into the server.
And obviously, it's going to be on a like first come first served basis. It's not just going to pick someone at random.
Oh yeah, no,
Well,
well,
yeah,
that's
it's
what
gonna be like
queuing
waiting
is.
in a line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to go online and buy a PlayStation 5? That's what it's gonna be like.
No, but
Yeah.
my
Ooh.
parents did for me. So.
Oh, fair enough. I went to
And
the
then it
Like-
Walmart
broke
website
after
and
the
I
first
went
2
through
weeks.
hell.
So
Oh, that was funny.
no, it
Happened
wasn't.
to stumble upon one in the wild. What was it? It was at GameStop. Yeah, it was at GameStop. I just happened to stumble upon it with my girlfriend. I looked at her. I was like, "We gotta
Please.
get it. We
I
have to
actually-
get this."
I got mine from my internet service provider because they
What?
they were they yeah
Yeah, no.
they were taking like, okay, do you want a PS5? Yeah, you can have it. And it was sort of like, because there's a local game store, and I put my name down on that one as well. And I just thought, yeah, I'll put it with the service provider. It probably won't come from them because they're an internet service provider. And it turns out they said, hey, look, we got a PS5, we've got one. It's like, how is my internet service provider faster getting a console than a game store?
We like everybody and their mom is selling PS5s at that point. Like it was what was it? There was even well, no. It wouldn't be that off for some place like that to sell it. But yeah, a lot of retailers were selling PS5 that didn't even have any business selling a PS5, but that was probably
Yeah.
just due to the popularity. I mean, wherever you can make money, make money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think I saw a few supermarkets over here sell PS5s at one point.
Speaking
Like-
of the
like
PlayStation
Asda.
5, this is a question that mostly is directed towards Mr. Soup Evolved here. Do you think Survival Ascended is the highly anticipated by one person PS5 enhancements?
I don't know. First
That's
of all,
good.
I do not see any. I don't know how I relate to this in any way.
Because you're the only person that plays ARK on the PS5.
Well, I mean, I've got a
No.
PC now. I've had a PC for like the past 6 months ish. I'm
Well,
never
and you're not
playing
tempted
ARK
to-
on that thing again. By the
You're
way,
not tempted to go back?
no, not even with ASA.
What do you mean it was so great on
Fair
the
enough.
PS5?
Um,
I mean, there was a 200 meter.
I don't
I'm not
think
talk about that.
I don't think it's directly the enhancements, mainly because like they really went into radio silent for like over 2 years because they knew they were going to do this 2 years later. But I mean, if it's being released on PS5, it will be optimized for PS5. So yes,
At
You
least
in
they
heard it
some
here
are.
way,
first.
it is the spiritual successor of the PS5 enhancement that never got released. Or
And they-
maybe.
Getting something.
I remember right before Genesis 2 came out. Cedric, the last thing said about it, Cedric was like getting things ready for Gen 2, but we still have the team working on it, and that was it.
Well, okay,
Nothing
well, no,
else.
yeah, he was like, we've had to sort of just take resources away from that for Gen 2. After Gen 2's out, they'll be put back on it. Apparently they weren't, so...
I don't even.
Or
think there's
maybe
many
the
people in
PS5
it.
is just
Oh.
so hard to optimize for that they never could. It's
Maybe.
just too good.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Sony probably would have pulled something to make it that way if they didn't get a lot of stuff for it.
Well, I for one am I'll definitely be buying. I'm not sure if I'll do the series, I probably won't get ASA for the Series S. I'll definitely end up going with the PS5 just because graphics different. Like Series S is or inferior to the PS5, but I'll definitely be getting 2 copies either way, so that way I can finally play with my girlfriend because I would refuse to I would refuse to get the Windows 10 version to play with her on Xbox. So now
Yeah,
now we
Yeah.
can finally
Yeah.
play with mods cuz I will never
that'd be
leave
nice.
S Plus ever. Like I will wait,
Yeah.
and that is a hill I'm willing to die on.
To my understanding, the Windows 10 version wasn't like well optimized, or was it something different?
It was terrible. I don't know what it was, but it was awful because
Well, okay, here's the thing. They probably just slapped the Xbox port onto it
The
and like
PC
let you
controls.
change the graphic
And like,
settings.
no, the graphics
but
sucked.
and then said, and then they probably changed the hotbar. So instead of it says Y to go to this inventory slot, it's now like the number 5. And it's like there you go.
It was definitely poorly optimized because I remember whenever I first got my PC, I was like, well, I don't want to leave everybody that I played Xbox with. Like I don't want to just leave them in the dust. And so I still tried to play on that like my community PvE server with them and stuff, but I would just crash constantly. And I remember my breaking point. I was just flying on Ragnarok and I was like, man, this game looks ugly. And then I crashed. I'm like, okay, I'm
Oh
I'm
no.
done. I'm done with it. That was my
Steam it
breaking point.
is.
Yeah, no, seriously, it was.
Oh
And
It
yeah,
was.
no,
oh,
fair enough.
But I mean, it was worth a shot, and I was like, all right, guys, I'll see you if you get a PC, or they bring S Plus to the Xbox version, which obviously they never did. But I'm glad to see it with ASA. I'm glad to see console modding with ASA.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
no.
that's a good thing.
How long do you think mods like S Plus and Dino Storage are gonna take to come to ASA?
As
Few
First
days?
soon,
week.
no,
First
as
week.
soon, yeah, literally as soon as because I know they said console modding might have to wait unless I read that wrong. Um, I don't know if they said something like that. I thought I saw something like
No.
that.
The CEO of Overwolf, the people who they're partnering with to get console modding, the CEO said that it's coming this year for console, but not like right away at launch. And then after the CEO said that, that's when the Community Crunch 356 was released, and Wildcard put their foot down and was like, "No, it's happening at launch."
The
Ooh,
CEO probably pooed themselves. It was sort of like, wait a minute.
Yeah, Jeremy went up and beat up the Overwolf CEO and was like, "No, you're doing this as fast as you can."
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, no matter the case, I think for sure as soon as console mods are available, you see S Plus like the very most popular, I guess almost uh depending on how some PC players are, like the necessary mods like me S Plus is necessary, you see that go up as soon as possible. Like
Yeah,
days, weeks, however long, like it's happening soon.
just
I don't.
depends on how long it takes for them to release the dev kit.
I'd argue Dino Storage will also be like very soon.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's another like I never knew about Dino Storage until I just kind of stumbled upon it, and now it's like another one of those mods I can't play without.
Yeah, I
It's
can't go back now.
it's Dino Storage, S Plus, Super Stacks, and there was one other, but those are the main 3 for sure. Like
Awesome Spyglass is
yes,
another one.
that one. It was that one. That one's mwah,
The Among
beautiful.
Us costume mod.
no,
Oh, yeah.
Do they
I don't
have
know, man.
that?
I like that they do, and it's made by the same guy who made the Bob Chibi, and I think he also made Soup's favorite mod, the
Oh no.
California Girls Dance.
God
No.
damn it. Okay, promptly moving away from this now. Wild babies in ASA.
Yeah,
Are
that's
they going to
good.
be
I
tameable?
fine.
Maybe.
I hope
Okay,
so.
Wild Babies finally.
Okay,
Uh,
going back to
MMO?
like
No.
sometime in 2021, like what's his face called who I've forgotten about is like a producer on no, he's not a producer on the show. What's he called? I've forgotten.
Jesse,
What's his
Jeremy,
Craig
role?
Brown. Craig Brown.
Craig. Okay, Craig Brown.
Okay. So he put out a poll and he was like, in Ark 2, would you like to be rewarded for taming creature? Okay, I'm going to rephrase this because it's already falling apart. He said, if there was an option to tame creatures in Ark 2 in a more pacified way instead of a more violent option, if we give you that option, would you want to be rewarded for doing it, or do you just want it to be a different option? And there's like no bonus or negative to doing it. So maybe that's what they're gonna do. Like maybe you can get baby creatures by passively taming them somehow. And I don't mean like going up and force feeding them, but I mean like instead of knocking them out and shoving food into their stomach, I mean like gently like making them comfortable around you or something.
That'd be really cool.
Protecting them or like caring for them, like something kind of like almost
Yeah.
acting like, like their mother in a way. Yeah, that could definitely be something cool. I guess whenever he put out that poll, it meant like quite literally whenever he said like pacified, like literally like as in a baby. I didn't.
I mean, maybe because like this was for Ark, dude. This was in like middle of 2021, I think. So long before ASA was probably even thought about.
Yeah,
But
true.
now the question is, if they do go with that route, will you get a reward from it? Like, will the creature receive more levels?
Could be an imprint bonus.
But you can do that
wouldn't like
via
that.
breeding anyway.
I wouldn't like the imprinting just because like if you were trying to eventually breed,
Mutate,
yeah, and do all
it'd
that,
mess it up.
like yeah, that would be a nightmare. But I think a theory that I have is that maybe like even I don't think you could tame the Dinopithecus babies, but I think maybe they were kind of dabbling in that sense whenever they put out the Dinopithecus and the babies. I can't remember if you could tame them though.
I forgot that there's a wild Dinopithecus babies. Maybe they were going for that, but it was sort of like they were approaching the launch date of Lost Island, and they did release Lost Island on time. And maybe they were like, because after Gen 2, everybody was like, oh, Lost Island's not going to be on time. And they were probably like, we need to get this out. Like,
Yeah.
on the time, on the date that we said, on every platform. So maybe they just scrapped it.
See, Dinopithecus babies spawn, but they're not the only creature in Ark to have wild babies. Kairuku, they can
Yeah.
spawn from a baby, and they're tameable when they're babies.
Wait, seriously?
They are.
So they are. You can't, unless they changed it. I remember when I haven't tried it since they first came out because I only went for
you
adults after
can't.
that. But you used to be able to knock out the babies and tame them. Let me keep the conversation going. I'm gonna go on the wiki, look up Kairuku, and see if that was ever changed in their patch notes.
That's
Okay,
what I
well,
was looking up right now.
the thing is that baby Kairuku actually give more organic polymer. I think in the wild.
They do.
Yeah, so it makes sense why there's baby ones if they give more reward.
And there was never a patch note saying you can no longer tame the baby Kairuku. And I might be wrong. I'll go test it again tonight. If I am wrong, Bandit here can put a little disclaimer in the video.
Yeah, more editing for you to do.
More
Yeah.
what?
Shit.
More because I don't want to be out here spreading misinformation.
Damn it, you
I love spreading
misleading.
this information on the internet.
I can't believe you've done this. Actually, fun fact, with the Kairuku thing, I'm reading the wiki. It said that it was the first creature to be added in the game with wild babies.
Yeah.
And one of the only creatures to have wild babies. I think. But yeah, I mean that's pretty cool.
Here's something
Okay,
on
no,
the ASA.
I looked it up on Reddit. You can. But they will probably die because they have less health. So it's not advised.
Wow.
Well, here's something I want in ASA and Ark 2. I want funny patch notes. Like, what, the other day in Sons of the Forest, it's like, oh yeah, we added buoyancy for dead bodies in water.
Oh, like that on like the Steam thing.
Yeah,
buoyancy
and
for
like,
dead babies in water.
oh, even
Oh
better.
God.
Yeah. Oh.
And like some of the Sims patch notes have been pretty funny. Like, oh no, make enemies with child wish will no longer appear, or something.
You can no longer
Well,
woohoo in the elevator.
Dolly used to do something, and I think she did it up until like a few months after Gen 2 came out, where every time there was an update, she'd release a funny version of the patch notes where it would be like a simplified like
Oh, I remember that. I missed
yeah.
Yes.
So if Dolly's watching this, please bring that back, please.
That'd be
Please,
awesome.
That
that'd
would
be
be
pretty funny.
funny.
And
That
give
would be
us some
funny.
ASA codes.
Yes,
Yeah,
please. We need
please.
4 precisely.
Yeah. And we
Three and
want
a
to play.
half.
We want to play
Oh, I
tomorrow,
knew that was
even
coming.
though the video won't be up by tomorrow. We
Yeah.
want to be playing by tomorrow.
I know it's a couple months early, but if you could do that, just message Cedric Explains account. I think it was changed to the Complex Cult at the time of this recording.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, so yeah, that would be much appreciated. That would be
Yeah, that'd be
awesome.
very good.
But I think let's see how long have we been going? Hour and 15 minutes. So I guess that was pretty good for the first
Yeah, we
episode.
should
Yeah.
be wrapping this
That's
up.
that's
Yeah.
good. That's
Oh
Got
good.
yeah.
to dive into
And
some.
I,
Oh, go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say that. I think an hour 15 is quite a nice length for a podcast.
Oh yeah, that was
I think we
definitely.
should. I think we should end it with our like final overall thoughts on ASA.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
that'd be good.
I'm very pleased with Wildcard on this one. It does suck that we have to pay for it again, but my idea is that it was going to be free, as they said. Snail Games was like, no, it's not. And Wildcard said, well, if we're going to force them to pay for it, let's make it worth the price.
I rate it 18 toads out of a Lystra.
Ooh, that,
Think-
that's
I don't know
pretty
if that's
high.
good.
You'll find out.
I think I think I've probably really got to comment on this. Yeah, you got to pay for it now, but at the end of the day, people don't work for free, so
Yeah.
it's justified, and I think for what it is, it's worth every penny.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah.
My thoughts on it are I guess initially kind of a little bit negative. Over time thinking about it, pretty positive. Especially now with everything that we're getting. I can play with people on console, so that'll be awesome. I'm really gonna hope to see that epic 100 tier battle pass, so that way I can celebrate my victory royales and do maybe the whip. I don't know if that's a little bit outdated, but something like that. That would be awesome. But yeah, overall pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah.
I want the floss as the tier 100 emote.
Oh
No.
yes.
I want this
Floss
episode
on
to end.
them.
Just don't. I
we need tech
say.
VR.
I definitely say they should not get rid of the bob. Like they should not get rid of that if they're gonna go in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
But okay, no, there should still be the option to like just make a Bob
Yeah.
survivor.
He's classic.
oh yeah. Tier
Yeah.
100
Yeah,
right there for season 2. Let's do it.
Bob,
You're right.
there we go.
Let's do
Done.
it.
Done,
But,
Wildcard. If you're listening to this, we've done your work for you.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Hire us.
basically, our
Where's our
closing,
money?
our closing opinions are: give us 4 codes and make Bob a tier 100. That's
In
the
season
only
2,
thing.
not
Yes.
season 1. Wait, we gotta wait till season 2 for that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you get nothing out of this deal. So, just to clarify, it's very one-sided. So,
Very one-sided.
Very.
Especially because this is our first podcast episode, and we
Yes.
have like we have one video uploaded while recording this and a single short. So
Yep.
Yeah.
hey, no,
we've got
actually,
3K subs.
actually,
though,
no, it's
so.
6:43. So, as of 43 minutes ago, 2 shorts. Let's go.
Wait,
really?
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
you get 3 shorts?
We weren't
Oh.
notified of this. Okay,
Oh, God,
well,
Nice.
Oh.
let's close this out and we can group watch this and rate it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, give it an honest rating, honest review.
All right. Well, I hope to see you or whoever's watching. Hope you join
Me.
us with the next
will do.
episode. We got a lot more to dive into over the coming weeks, and even some guests.
A lot more.
So stay tuned
Nice.
with that. All right. Well, I guess I just end it now.
Probably.
Yeah, I think you
All right,
should.
yeah.
No, I think you should continue. Come on.
Continue.
We can't stay here for eternity.
No, and